The Chicago Bears did not draft a single defensive lineman in the 2026 NFL draft. And I think that may be the smartest thing that Ryan Post has done this offseason. Two names, Austin Booker, Shemar Turner. Those two young men, I think those two guys can revitalize the monsters of the Midway.
What's going on, Postal Gang? Posty is in the building, and today we are delivering a special package, a 2-for-1. And both names on this delivery address are about to become very familiar to Bears fans everywhere. I'm talking about Austin Booker and Shemar Turner. So sit back, get comfortable, because today we are opening the mail on whether these two can restore the roar to the monsters of the Midway. Let's set the scene real quick. The Chicago Bears, the monsters of the Midway. That name goes back to the 1940s, Postal Gang. The Bears were terrorizing offenses all over the league before your grandfather was born. And when you talk about 1985, Richard Dent, Mike Singletary, Refrigerator Perry, that defense allowed the fewest points in NFL history that season. They held their playoff opponents to a combined 10 points. 10 points. That's what this brand is supposed to be. Fast forward to 2025, we ranked 22nd in sacks, 35 for the entire season, and 29th, just 29th in pressure percentage at 28%. That's not the monsters of the Midway. That's not the monsters of the cul-de-sac. We have to be better. And the answer, it might already be on the roster. But before we get into it, Postal Gang, drop the comments below right now. Do you believe Austin Booker or Shemar Turner is the real deal? Drop a mailbox if you believe. Drop an X if you're still kind of skeptical. I want to know where you guys are at. All right, let's start with Austin Booker. 6'6", 245 pounds, and Postal Gang, let me be real with y'all. This man was productive last year, and he barely even played. I think that's the wild part. Booker missed the first chunk of the season with a preseason knee injury. When he finally came back in week 9, in just 9 regular season games, 9, he finished with 45 total pressures and 4.5 sacks. Now let me translate that for you. Pro Football Focus had him with 35 pressures in the regular season, 10 in the playoffs. However you slice it, he was top 3 on this team in sacks in half a season. That's not trash, people. That's insane. And when the playoffs hit, as I stated, wild card against the Packers, 5 pressures and a sack. Divisional round against the Rams, 81.4 run defense grade from PFF. This man showed up when it mattered most. Now here's the real story. The Bears watch every edge rusher come off the board in the draft. Max Crosby went back to the Raiders. Dexter Lawrence went to Cincinnati. The Bears didn't flinch. GM Ryan Post literally said, and I want you to hear this, Booker is coming along with Deo, with Sweat, and with Shemar. We feel good about those guys. That's the GM saying Austin Booker and those guys are our answer. And Ben Johnson, he said, and I quote, I think you saw tremendous growth from Austin last year when we were finally able to get him back. And the cherry on top, this offseason, Booker has been training with Aaron Reed. Yeah, the juggernaut from Deadpool and Wolverine. Building strength like he's trying to become an actual comic book villain on the defensive line. And Posey is here for it. That's not a cornerback move. That's not a wide receiver move. That's someone who is coming for quarterbacks in 2026. Real quick, Postal Gang, if this video is giving you the information that you need, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure that this postman's delivery gets out to everybody in your neighborhood. Don't miss your package. Now, this is where it gets interesting for me. We talk about Shemar Turner. Turner was a second-round pick out of Texas A&M in 2025. The Bears drafted him as a defensive tackle. And his rookie year, man, it was kind of rough. He logged 74 total snaps before tearing his ACL in Week 8 against the Ravens. His overall PFF grade, 34.4. That's pretty low. Pretty trash on paper. But here's what the paper doesn't tell you. Midway through his rookie season, the Bears made a decision. They moved Shemar from defensive tackle to defensive end. And almost immediately, the run defense got better. Ben Johnson himself said, and I'm giving you his direct words, when we made the transition from tackle to end, it certainly coincided with our ability to stop the run at a higher clip. I think Shemar looked somewhat natural to play that spot for a guy who hadn't done a ton of it. Now fast forward to the 2026 offseason, Ryan Poles in his press conference after the draft specifically named the 4 edge rushers for this season. Sweat, Deo, Booker, and you guessed it, Shemar Turner. That's the GM confirming what we already suspected. Turner is now a full-time edge rusher, and Poles said this about his potential. He's a 3-year starter with tweener measurables, but excellent musculation and lean mass. Turner plays with unlimited activity. That's scout language. But it's scout language for this dude does not stop working. Now, yes, he's coming off an ACL tear. We'll keep it real. That's a big deal. But Postal has watched this league for a long time, and let me tell you, year 2 defenders who have had their rookie seasons cut short by injury and then have to come back the following year, come back motivated. They also surprise you in a big way. Turner is just 22 years old, and his ceiling hasn't even been touched yet. Postal Gang, are you more excited about 2026 for Austin Moore, Shemar Turner, the pass rush in general? Let me know what you think. Austin Booker, Shemar Turner. Drop it in the comments. This is the debate I need to see. So here's the big question. Can Austin Booker and Shemar Turner, 2 young, hungry, injury-recovering pass rushers, actually help bring back the roar to the monsters of the Midway? Let Postman give you the verdict. When I look at this Bears defensive line for 2026, I see something that I haven't seen in a while. I see youth. I see upside. I see pressure. You got Montez Sweat as the anchor, proven and a problem. You got Dayo Adangbo coming back from a torn Achilles, but another year of experience in this system. And then you got Booker and Turner, both hungry, both with something to prove, both entering contract windows where they need to show out. If Booker stays healthy for a full 17 games, based on what we saw in 9, we could be looking at a legitimate 10 to 12 sack season. That is Pro Bowl conversation. And if Turner comes back from the ACL and channels that unlimited activity that Ryan Poles talks about, you got a rotation that opposing offenses are going to dread preparing for. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's a lock, because as I said, Dale is also coming back from a torn Achilles. So 2 of your 4 edge rushers are coming back from major lower body injuries. That's a risk. But the upside, Postal Gang, the upside on this defensive line is legit. And with the secondary finally getting reinforcements with Dylan Linemen and Malik Muhammad in the secondary, the Bears are building something. The monsters of the Midway didn't just get built in a day, but the foundation, the delivery truck just pulled up. And the postman is telling you this package is worth tracking. So Postal Gang, that's your delivery for today. Austin Booker, Shemar Turner, 2 young guys with something to prove. 2 young guys with the tools to turn this Bears defense into something special. The postman is a believer. Now it's on time for them to deliver. Special shout out to T. Miles, Rachel Cube, KMP, Ganja Bear, Count Dracula, and the whole Postal Gang that keeps this community alive. Drop your takes in the comments. I read every one of them. Like this video, and if you're rocking with the Super Bears, hit that super chat Subscribe to the channel if you're not a part of the Postal gang, and let's stay locked in on all things Chicago Bears. And until next time, until next delivery, I am your host, Postman 1914. Bear down, and we gone.